Hello, all you writers out there. It is Friday, and that means we go live to tell you everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote an amazing book. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, co-founder of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, here with our superstar author, Joanie Lindenmeyer. Welcome, Joanie.
Good morning or good afternoon in Detroit time. So good to be with you. I love our Friday podcast. Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a marvelous day already. And if not, get ready for one with the two of us. We
Woohoo!
instill and inspire that.
Hello, that's what we're all about, and it's amazing. That's what our mission in life is to do as writers, as humans, as earth angels. And here we are. So, all of you aspiring authors out there, get ready to take some notes, listen, share this with anybody who also wants to write a book, because we are going to share a really, really wonderful aspect of writing a book that you may not have thought about. And it's Joanie's brilliant idea. So, Joanie, will you please share your idea?
Of course, of course, of course. And I loved your opening this morning. We are in the house. So, everybody, we are in the house today. So, my topic is, or our topic, because it's an hour, is when you write a book, when you write, it's also a way to find out who you are as you write. It's your own self-discovery and your self-expression that can exude from your writing. And
Mm.
that has definitely happened for me. It has definitely happened for Elizabeth and many authors that I have met. And so that is our topic. When
I
you write, you find out who you really are.
Yes. So, Joni, you are the best-selling author of Nun Better, an amazing love story, your memoir about your 40-year, well, about your whole life, but about your 40-year love story with Carol. And then you and I co-authored Joyously Free, Stories and Tips to Live Your Truth as LGBTQ plus people, parents, and allies. Joni's wearing the t-shirt, if you're listening. It's bright pink and it says Joyously Free. And then we also wrote another book together called Healing Religious Hurts, Stories and Tips to Live to Find Love and Peace. And that's on the back of Joni's shirt, which she's modeling for us. So the point is that Joni went from 0 to 1,000 because she had never written a book. She was a former Catholic nun and retired physical education teacher, and now she's the best-selling author and radio host. And so the point is anybody can do it. You always say, Joni. But
Yes.
tell us, in the course of writing these books, Joni, what did you discover about yourself? Because you came in pretty solid knowing who you are.
I did, but at the same time, to get to the meat and the bottom line and the hearty grits of everything, that's what happened with None Better. And I found out via my own reflection, my own writing, my own tears, my own laughter as I wrote, that I realized I am more courageous than I ever thought. I am more brave than I ever thought. I am more out there than I ever thought. And it's just being the best me, but it came out like paragraph by paragraph. It started with the outline going, oh my gosh, I have done that. I have become that in all my different stories. And I never realized that until I could look at the entire picture of my and Carol's life of 40 years together. I never
Mm.
really looked at it that way. And so as writers out there, look at your big picture. Look at your big picture. And then as you narrow it down and you start to write your themes, your content, your topics, you'll just find out, oh my gosh, how much you have inside of yourself that you can share and express and write about. Yeah, it's powerful, Elizabeth. It
Yeah.
is so powerful to write.
Yes, 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 yes. I feel exactly the same with all the books that I've written and published. And so the cool thing is, when you write your memoir, especially, it forces you to reflect back on your life. And like you said, it really empowers you because you see what you've survived. You might be looking back like, oh, I went through this and that. It was terrible. It was so hard, painful. But you survived and you're better, stronger for it. And so it gives you a perspective on your own life, which is remarkable. And Joni, there's a huge healing component to this.
Yes.
Huge. When I did my memoir, God's Answer is No, KNOW, Lessons from a Spiritual Life, I actually read my journals from high school and college and my 20s and even 30s. And I saw how much time I had wasted on my eating disorder and fretting about my racial identity and all kinds of other things. And I said no. Once I read those as decades later, and I was like, look at the time and energy I could have invested in something else. I said, no more. I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm going to really regulate my thoughts and my energy expenditures on what I focus on so that it is all being invested into something powerful. So I was able to release and I forgave myself for all of that. And were it not for me actually writing my memoir and reviewing my life like that in detail, that would not have occurred.
Wow. Wow. That's profound. As you would say, that's a mic drop. That's a mic, but you're exactly right. And your healing that is in the process of that,
Yeah.
and that ties in. And we had no idea. But guess what my prop is today?
Uh-oh, what's your prop?
What's my prop today? I have to take out some of my stuff here. My prop is is my journal. My prop, you mentioned journal. My prop,
Yes.
and this is this year's journal, and
Mhm.
I'm just going to show you some of the pictures. And of course, it's in different ink, and there's pictures, and there's reflections, and there's hearty things. But it's my journal that nobody reads but me.
Right.
But in this journal, this was the beginning of knowing who I am, who I really, really, really am, because you cannot hide in a journal.
Right.
You cannot hide in a journal. It is absolutely you. Um, and I guess that is what triggered you to use your journal to write in your memoir. It triggered me too, because in the book None Better, I use excerpts from my journal as pages in the book.
Oh, wow.
And I know you did the same thing, and you did the
Yes.
same thing as we wrote Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts. So,
Hmm.
writers out there, your journal pieces, the pains, the things that you're going through, you'll be able to incorporate those in your book, because that's who you are when you write. It's who you are.
Yes, 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 yes. I love that, Joni.
Yep,
So
yep,
being
yep, yep.
real, being authentic, and sometimes when you're writing, it helps you discover who is your authentic self. Because, Joni, in the privacy of your journal or whatever writing you're doing, you're free. There's no one looking over your shoulder. There's no one judging you, critiquing you. Um, you're free to write without a filter of what other people think. And then when you boil it down to that truth about yourself, you are joyously free in the context of our book about LGBTQ plus, but also joyously free in life.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, 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 yes. So two things related to that. Believe how we're always in sync here, Elizabeth.
I
It's like
love it.
you say something and you feel something, and it's like I can totally relate to that. And I hope you're
Hmm.
doing the same thing, writers. But one of the things was in my journal. I met a guru on my one of my trips this year, and so I have my spirit animals that
Oh,
this person, this guru, this spiritual guru, gave to me. And so I did a tarot card thing, as well as a spirituality thing. And so I just want to mention some of my spirit animals that were just bold and beautiful. They were cougar, lion, tiger, wolf, a bumblebee, a polar bear, and a dolphin. And that
oh,
just sort of summarizes me up in terms of my courage, my confidence, my higher power, my playfulness, my perseverance. What was the bumblebee? Oh, community. Being in community was the bumblebee, and of course the mystic, the polar bear. And so I think a lot of us can relate spiritually to who we're becoming. So it's
mm,
not just a physical thing or an intellectual thing when you write a book. There's a big spiritual component to that.
hmm.
And so
Of
I hope you as
course.
writers can take that all into play.
I
So,
love that, Joni. So, Joni just mentioned her spirit animals. And for those of you who don't know what that is, I am a certified meditation teacher, and Joni comes to my weekly Goddess Power meditations on Wednesday evenings at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
come
And
join us. Come join us.
Yes, 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 yes. I can put the link here, and it's just wonderful. It's for women, and we create this wonderful sisterhood. And I guide you through a meditation that includes calling out to your spirit guide, which can be your spirit animal, your power animal. And so your power animal shows up in spirit form to show you characteristics like Joni just described that you need to adopt in your life. So my spirit animals are always giant cats. And it's just like you named several giant cats too, Joni, like panther,
Yes.
cougar, lion, cheetah, tiger. Yeah, so powerful. So, Joni, what would you recommend to the aspiring author out there who wants to do the self-discovery work while writing their book?
Perfect lead in again. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And it's going to come in the form of a question. I gave a book talk yesterday in Crescent City at Del Norte Library. I was asked this profound question, and I'm putting it forth to all of you. Okay. And here's the question. What would you tell your younger self?
Ooh, I love that.
And so they said, Joni, you've written 3 books in 2 years. What would you tell your younger self?
Mm.
And that I tell you, it absolutely stopped me in my tracks. And I became speechless for a little bit, which is big for
Speechless.
me. I know. Can you believe that, Elizabeth?
Uh-huh.
Um, anyhow, but what would you tell your younger self? I think this is part of my answer. And then for you to answer, if you would answer it after I answer mine, Elizabeth, please. And then maybe the writers will be able to, the people listening today, watching, that you can write down your answer. Okay. So what would I tell my younger self? To not hold back, to follow your heart, to have faith, meaning that you're not always in charge, hardly ever, but to follow your heart, have faith, be you, and be a sparkle. There's
Ooh,
no one like you in the world. And so, in saying that to my younger self, I would have that confidence and courage and tenacity and perseverance all through my life.
I love it. I love it. Okay, that's
Okay,
beautiful.
your turn, Elizabeth. What would you tell your younger self after you have lived your life of 50 some years and written all these books?
I would tell myself to speak up and to not be so worried about what other people think and
Ooh.
to really speak my mind courageously and confidently. I would also tell myself to live joyously free. Um, the trajectory of my life would have been totally different.
Wow. Wow. Speak up, your
Yeah,
true self.
yeah.
Oh my gollies.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gollies.
No, but that's not to say that I have zero regrets about my life. I was just sharing the other day with people that everything, especially the most difficult things, shaped me into who I am right now, and I would not trade that. So yesterday was my 20 my wedding anniversary.
Oh,
I don't know how many years it was, but anyway, my wedding anniversary was yesterday, and it was the most glorious, amazing day with friends and family. It was beautiful in a tent by the river at the mayor's mansion. It was spectacular sit down dinner for 400 people at this beautiful place on the water, the Rooster Tail. You wanted to go there.
yes, yes,
And
yes, yes.
and
I've
then our
dreamed about that place.
yeah, and then our
Yeah.
friends took us on this midnight moonlit boat ride with me and the whole bridal party. It was spectacular, the whole thing. And then 10 days in Jamaica for the honeymoon. It was beautiful, but I'm divorced and I'm happily divorced, and the divorce was horrible, but it also led to healing. So, talk about discovery, because I've written about this and I wrote about it in a way that's healed. One of my dear friends, who's a teacher, retreat leader, author, she said when she read my memoir, and you read it too, Joni, she said, I wrote it from such a healed place. There's no shame, blame, criticism, anger. It's like I had this experience. I learned from it, and now we have harmony and peace, which is a miracle. And so that is discovery. It shows what you are capable of. Because back when that bad stuff was happening, I would have never imagined that we are actually in a happy, harmonious place as co-parents and friends.
That is beautiful. That is
Thanks.
brings tears to my eyes. That is really beautiful, you know.
Oh,
And
thanks,
and as
Joan.
my honey Carol would say, it was a living death of what you experienced, because you had those hard times and you had to heal and you had to grow from that and discover. And
Hmm.
and Victor, an incredible person. I remember meeting him at
Yeah.
dinner, and so I appreciated that honor to be with your family for that dinner. And I could see the relationship between the two of you as
Hmm.
harmonious and
Hmm.
just very, very kind and loving. So that's
Hmm.
that's awesome. Yep,
Yay. Thank
yep,
you.
yep,
Thank
yep,
you.
yep, for
Awesome.
sure.
Yeah, I love this idea, Joni, because self-discovery is everything. Like it continues to propel us on our journey as we level up. When you learn new things about yourself, and I just had a tremendous learning experience about myself this week, and it enabled me to stop a pattern that's not helpful for me or other people. Really identify it, feel the pain of it, and then say no more. So it's really amazing. And I've written about it, of course, and I'll put it in a book someday, but self-discovery. And you know
Mhm.
what? While you're writing and then using journaling at the same time, Joni, is so powerful, but also having someone to process it with, like a
Yes,
therapist or a close
yes.
friend or a confidant, whoever, somebody that you can verbalize it to. When I worked at the TV station here as a news writer, they told me if the story is complicated, the way to make it simple so you can write about it in a conversational way for the anchors is to talk it out to somebody. You talk
Mhm.
it out to somebody. So when you talk things out, you get clarity for yourself, and then you can write about it.
Yes.
And
And,
you
and that's
also,
what you did as a book coach for me for
uh-huh.
None Better.
How
Oh my
so?
gosh, our weekly or sometimes 2 times a week or 3 times a week, whatever it was, I don't remember. But yes, I was able to talk that out and then put it onto those words. Sally Roy was another person I did that with. Gail Baker, my sister. Yes, to have those people that you can talk that out with. Oh, excellent point.
Yeah.
Write that down as a golden nugget, everybody. Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
awesome, awesome. Yes. Yeah, it's
Yes.
really important. So Joni, what else can you share with people about how writing a book is a path to self-discovery?
How it is. It just is. It's a way to just like music. If you sing a song or you write lyrics or you write poetry, it's an expression. For some people, the writing, the actual physical writing does something between your heart and your brain. And I don't get that scientifically. I just know that there's a connection there
Uh-huh.
that when your pen, your pencil, your computer, when you start going, and these words start formulating, your heart just opens and
Uh-huh.
spills, whether
Uh-huh.
it's the good or it just spills out. And
Mm-hmm.
in my world, so much of it is spiritual and divine that even I can feel that from Carol or from Jesus, and those words just magically appear, as part of my heart is opening and I'm expressing it. And that is part of the big discovery of who I am. And
Mm.
I loved it when I wrote, Elizabeth, because I would literally laugh and I would literally cry as I typed. I don't know if other people
Yes.
do that as authors, but man,
Yeah.
I was just crying and laughing out loud.
Yeah.
If there had been a hidden camera on me, that they would have been like amazing. It'd probably be a YouTube favorite or something. But that the words I
Funny.
would say out loud. Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. Joni, I just thought of another way that a book is a path to self-discovery
Okay.
after it's published. Because
Oh,
when
yes.
people read
Oh,
it
yes.
and respond to you about it, it teaches you something about yourself. Like what I
Yes.
just told you about my writing from a healed perspective. I didn't know that until someone said it to me. And
Right.
then you, Joni, with your books, you stepped into the sort of activist role. You
Oh,
had
yeah.
not called yourself, you were being an activist by showing by example, through your courage and confidence as a gay woman during really difficult, dangerous times, living out and open when appropriate and safe.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
But then it became public. And so
yeah.
when the book was published, it was
Right.
absolutely public to the world. The people
Yes.
that didn't know that I was even a lesbian, didn't know my past, didn't
Right.
know that I was absolutely profoundly in love with Carol, and likewise. They didn't know that. And
Yeah.
so all of a sudden, publicly, I am this major loving activist, and it has gone ballistic. It has gone
Uh-huh.
ballistic. And I thank the people that have been with me on this journey of dealing with that as well.
Mm-hmm. So the discovery for you, Joni, was people's reactions, people's encouragement, their praise, their gratitude that, oh, you gave me power to come out, or you gave me the courage to tell my family I'm gay, or all the amazingness that you have been the catalyst for people. And so that was discovery of like, look at your power in the world, look at your influence in the world, right?
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. How I could bring Jesus to them, how I could bring healing to them, how I could bring joy to them, how I
Mm-hmm.
could give them the safetyness that they needed to be able to say what they needed to say and to be who they needed to be. You're exactly
Yes.
right. Oh my gosh. And
Yes.
yeah, and it's overwhelming and it's very humbling, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And I'm not a person that boasts about me. I'm not on an ego trip,
Uh-huh.
but I am about helping other people to be the best that they can be.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And to me, that's what it's about. And we all help each other be the best, then we're all the best,
Uh-huh.
and we
Uh-huh.
make our world better and healthier and happier, and there's so much fear and hatred and other stuff out there. It's like, yes, let's focus on the love. Just like my
Mm-hmm.
tattoo, love. That tattoo always wins.
Oh,
There's another
oh,
discovery, that I was bold
oh.
enough to have a tattoo. Oh my gollies.
Woohoo! That matches the book cover.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. 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 But good points. And how about for you? Same thing or different?
Seeing people's reactions to my books, whether it's my novels, my memoir, my Goddess Power books, um, it is an act of self-discovery because it reinforces the power that I have to influence people in a positive way. Whether they said they were entertained by reading my novels, whether they said they learned something, or whether my books empowered them to um, be more spiritual and loud about it. Because some people are super quiet or scared to express their
Mm-hmm.
spiritual
Mm-hmm.
beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Just showing by example, so many people, Joni, have told me that they wrote a book because they met me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They said, okay, I
Woohoo!
can actually, I just met a person who did this. I can do this too. So
Right
many
on.
people right here in Detroit, young people who had never met an author before,
Yeah.
and they became published authors. So it that showed me the power I have. We all
Yeah, the
have to,
influence.
yes, to help other people, which is amazing. And we're not, that wasn't even our mission, but we're
Right.
showing by example, both of us in powerful ways.
Right. And not just us. Let's see, where's on my table here? I have on my table, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Jack
Yes.
Cooper's new book. Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh, incredible, incredible. And talk about self-discovery
Mm-hmm.
and his willingness to let out his stuff, to be who
Mm-hmm.
he is. That's
Mm-hmm.
incredible. Let's see. Oh, this is the other one I'm reading, which I
Oh yeah.
love this book,
Yes,
by
Life
Tara. And
Minutes by Tara Heaton. In her book is about how her daughter started having epileptic seizures when she was 12, and Tara embarked on this tireless mission to find a cure for her daughter. And in the you talk about self-discovery, Tara discovered who
don't
she
tell me the
is.
end because I'm not there.
No,
I'm
I'm
only on
not.
page 59.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying that it's about her daughter and the experience that inspired the book, but Tara is on a journey of self-discovery as a mother and as a woman.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and
And
Tom,
then, oh, go ahead.
um, uh,
Jack.
Jack Cooper, sorry, I was thinking about my father, Tom Atkins.
Tom. Hi, Tom.
Because he
Say hi
journaled.
to
I was about
Carol
to
for me,
talk
would
about
you?
journalism. Yeah, my father journaled every day of my life. And so that's where Catherine and I got the writing instilled. And I was going to mention journaling again. But Jack Cooper's book, Pain Before the Rainbow, which Joni is holding up, I just interviewed him on Book Talks on the Two Sisters Writing and Publishing channel on YouTube yesterday. And it's really amazing because Jack was on a journey of self-discovery, but especially healing by writing about the horrors of being a gay man in the teenager in the pain in the 70s before the rainbow, which means the freedoms that LGBTQ plus people have now and same-sex marriage being legalized, etc. And so that book is a really powerful example by Jack Cooper of self-discovery. Yeah.
And then I'm going to show one more. This just happened to be on my table. My very dear friend Rosie, you
Yes,
know,
Rosie Robles. Yes.
oh my
Uh,
gosh. And she just put her heart into this book. And she, of course, she was a very dear friend of Carol's and then mine, and was a former nun, former sister. And
mhm.
say a few prayers for Ron, her husband. He had a little stroke. And so
Oh
they're
no.
dealing with that. So yeah,
Mm,
and life happens. But her healing process and her pains turned into another influential way to help people through this
okay.
book here.
Yeah. Beautiful. She sure did. That book is Rosie's book is so powerful. Yes.
Yep,
Thank you,
yep.
Joni.
Yeah, and those just happen to be the ones on my table right now. So,
Right. Yeah.
yep, yep,
I'm
yep,
so
yep, yep. But I'm
so
looking forward to, as I'm thinking about all the people out there watching and listening to this, as you write, I'm looking to look forward to reading your book because that's what it comes down to. So I'm thinking of, I'm talking with Tony and Dawn, and I know that they have books inside of them, and I hope that they do something with that and really express and discover
hmm
more and make it
hmm
happen. And so,
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
recommend Elizabeth if anybody's looking for a person, Elizabeth to me is the go-to person. So
hmm
she's the superwoman. She's the superwoman.
Yeah, yeah. Joni, thank you. You're so kind. Well, thank you for this brilliant idea
Welcome.
today. And for all you authors out there, I hope that it has instilled in you newfound determination and inspiration to write your book because there are so many benefits beyond just actually becoming a published author. It's so enriching in your life. It's so enriching to your spirit, to your self-esteem, your worth, your feeling of contributing something important to the world to help other people. And these are things you don't really foresee. It's like happens in these moments where people email you, text you, call you, or see you somewhere and tell you that your book was so influential on them. And it just has this wonderful infinity loop of you contributing and influencing and they're sharing it back to you. It's just a beautiful thing. So all you
Yeah.
writers out there, Joni, any final words?
Yes. Are you ready?
Yes. Of course,
From
Joan.
Carol's Garden, my
Oh.
final words are be you, be the sparkle, have faith, and let it rip. Write your book.
Joni just held up the most spectacular roses that are pink, orange, purple, red from the garden that you'll read about in Nun Better, which is actually one of my favorite scenes in the book, where when Carol passed, friends brought over rose bushes and created a commemorative garden in their yard, and it's now blooming with spectacular roses. And Joni, you say you have so many that you just go deliver them to like the
Oh,
hospital
I
and
did.
places.
Yep, I did that yesterday. Oh my, I think I delivered four yesterday. Wow,
Mm,
four big bouquets.
yeah.
The size of this.
Oh, beautiful.
So
I
this one
love
here
it.
has about a dozen roses in it, all colors and pinks and reds and everything. Yep,
Wow.
yep, yep,
Wow.
yep.
That's
Yeah, yeah, but
beautiful.
yeah, put up some happy thoughts for my neighbor Phil. He fell off his roof, and he's finally home after being airlifted, and he's walking again, which is a big thing. So you know what? Bringing flowers and bringing love and bringing joy to people. Life goes on, even though you're writing a book and whatever. There's still life that goes on in the neighborhood and in the family. So
Yeah.
just keep on keeping on.
Maybe we should talk about that next week, Joni, about how to keep writing when life is happening.
Great topic. Would you
Okay.
please remember that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Elizabeth, thank you again for doing these podcasts and for just for opening your heart and sharing your wisdom and your knowledge and your heart. So
You're so
it's a
welcome.
wonderful thing to know you, to be on your journey as well. And everybody out there, hang on to somebody and be a part of their journey as you're discovering your own journey. Have a great day.
Awesome. You too,
Love you.
Joni. Beautiful. All you writers out there, please visit twosisterswriting.com where you can order all the books we just discussed, as well as learn about the book coaching services that I offer that help Joni become a bestseller. And I am thrilled and honored to meet all of you. So please connect with us. You can also find Joni on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Joanie Lindenmeyer. So we wish you happy reading and happy writing, and we'll see you next